Coming at you from SummerRain Studio. It's that time again to rage across the internet, your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. As always, I'm your host, Porter, and I am all alone. But fear not, everybody. It's not going to be that kind of show. We got something special for you. We've talked about it for a few weeks now, and we are presenting to you the first chapter of our 4-part original Postmortem series. And what we've got here is the classic, the very first run that Danny and Tom and Jessica ever played with us. And so what you're going to hear is, again, part 1 of 4. Going to hear some old voices. This is some older content done back in the day. But we wanted to show everybody, because I guess this is a little treat, I don't know what the Postmortems are all about, what we've done, what we've been through. And hey, as a little bonus for us, it gives us some wiggle room through the holidays. So hey, sit back, enjoy, and hey, if you like it, there's more where that came from. In the meantime, take it away past SummerRain crew. We'll see you later. Coming at you from SummerRain Studios, it's Rage Across the Internet, your Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. Doing, hey, a Patreon special, everybody. How's it going? You know, we want to thank you so much for your donations. You guys know that. We talk to you on the regular.
And if we don't, that's your fault. Get in the Discord.
Yeah, really, what the fuck, man? Then that was, of course, producer Joey.
Isn't all of our patrons on Discord?
I don't know.
I
don't cyberstalk them, Danny.
Right? And that's Danny. Good thing this isn't an episode. Jesus, you guys.
We're all just cutting the line.
I know. Fuck. Hey, is Tom here too?
I'm hiding.
Look at that. Tom, straight from his sickbed.
Yeah.
He's zooming in on the fucking Weaver train today.
Weaver train.
Weaver train, yes.
But I'm happy because now we're not going to get sick. Thank you.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. We're just not going to get Tom sick.
Well, we're all sick a little bit anyway.
Yeah, kind of got a point there.
How else did we start this podcast?
Danny's got a timer over his head with the word AIDS over. I mean, it's just a matter of time where that guy lives.
I gotta put my hood back up. You weren't supposed to see that. There's only so much time left. Let's get this done.
And, you know, me, I got feline leukemia right now. So, don't even ask that. That's that story I'm going to tell. But no,
so now all of you know all of our medical history.
This motherfucker.
HIPAA.
But no, it's time for Patreon rewards. And so what we're doing today is we're kicking off the first of our Postmortem series.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know you guys wanted to... There's been interest in hearing about, I guess, our stories past. Mm-hmm. And so we pulled out the archives from when we started this game here with this group. And this is the monthly now. We're going to go through that and break them down, do a little postmortem, a little behind the scenes kind of thing. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to producer Joey because she was not here when we started. So we thought this would be the thing to have her MC rather than sit there quietly.
Oh, okay.
Producer Jay.
I mean, you know, I wouldn't mind sitting quietly and listening to you guys discuss this, but let's.
What fun would that be?
Yeah, but see, now you're in the big boy chair.
No, now you threw her under the bus.
Yeah, but it was planned, so I'm not sorry.
That's fair.
Okay, so we're starting at the start.
Yes.
Story number 1.
Chronicle number 1.
Chronicle number 1, story 1. Mm-hmm. And it's called Into the Breach.
Yes.
Chapter 1. Why is it Into the Breach?
Well, the thing here is, you know, when I get a new group, we always start at the start. Mm-hmm. You know, day fucking 1. Mm-hmm. You know, and I feel that's important, especially because usually my new groups involve people who have never played a werewolf before, which the case with Tom and Danny. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so normally I do something like moonrise or, you know, the sunset or, you know, something thematic like that, like the beginning of the night. And that's not what I wanted to do. The thing that really caught my inspiration this time to start a group again was the idea of throwing a group of cubs in a forward sept, not a cairn, but a forward sept, So there's no one to train them.
Oh.
You know, you usually go to the cairn and, you know,
Right.
this person's, oh, we're going to teach you this and that, and we're going to take you to your rite of passage, and we're going to hold your hand until you pass or fail, but then you're going to come back and you're going to get... No.
Try again.
Yeah, this is a group of Garu who are, you know, forward, there's a battle or something going on, and they're too busy for your asses, but they can't take you anywhere else because they don't have a moon bridge and they're busy. So it's like severe on-the-job training. So you just throw them right into the breach.
Wow. Okay, so...
So it's like a toddler learning to swim. You throw them in the water. They figure it out or they don't.
That's called child abuse.
Shh. I don't have any children, so I can't get in trouble for it. It's fine.
Well, you can if they're not your kids, Danny. Stop going to pools.
You're throwing strangers' children into water?
This guy.
Don't.
Clip the mic doing that. We're all going to die with you.
I know. It's funny. But you know what, though? When I was a kid, that's what my father did to me. You want to learn to swim? Here you go. Threw me in the water.
Yeah.
I did no
Answers-
such thing.
Shut your damn mouth. Nope. Fine.
I'll give it to you.
That answers so many questions, but I
But-
have so many more questions.
Yeah, let's...
And let's moving on. Okay, so you named the Chronicle Into the Breach.
Right.
And then the story's title is The Wrong Side of Normal.
Yeah, I like to title all the stories individually. I think it helps people remember things better. Mm-hmm. You know, it's easier to go, hey, remember the wrong side of normal when X happened, rather than that story where the thing with... You know, people we identify things better that way.
Yeah.
And the wrong side of normal is just that. Being a Garu is maybe not the side of normal that you want to be on
Well,
to have like a good and productive life.
well, yeah, that's true. But also, having your first change, you know, and then ending up at a forward sept in a battle zone.
Yeah, all of this is...
It is the wrong side of normal.
Yep, it's not normally how it's done, exactly.
So I think it's neat how it works on many different levels. So
It's their first change, so we're also not normal anymore.
True.
Exactly.
Well, and we did your guys' preludes beforehand.
Great.
This is true.
Okay. So this is actually the second time they were role playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the preludes, like, those were, what, 5-10 minutes tops?
Yeah, maybe 20 in the long range. It was just something, you know, maybe it's the lazy way, it's fine. But, you know, they each had their scenarios. And we had Jessica here with us, too. I mean, she's not here with us today. But, you know, she also was a part of this group. Mm-hmm. So the three of them were essentially black bagged thrown into a van.
Okay.
And I used various methods to get that to happen.
Gotcha.
I
So
think I was the only willing one that jumped in.
That was hilarious.
did you voluntarily put the black bag over your own head, or was there a black bag for you, Tom?
Okay, you want to tell it, Tom?
Let's see. I didn't willingly put the black bag on, but I was being chased by a wolf from the forest, and a van pulled up and said, "Quick, get in." Well, yeah. I don't know anything about... I see a wolf coming after me. What's your human instinct? Someone saying, "Hey, we have a safe place for you. You're going to go do that." So
Okay.
I jumped into the van willingly, and next thing I know, I had a needle in my arm, and I was passing out.
So did they offer candy first?
They just offered not having a
They did.
wolf.
They just offered safety because I was naked on the streets.
No. Candy. Not safety. Candy.
There was no candy involved.
Oh, that sucks
But
for you.
was free puppies painted on the side of the van?
There was no free puppies on the side of the van.
That was later.
See, that's how we caught him.
Yeah, that was the real Tom, not the...
That's not Ghost. That's real Tom.
Yeah.
Well, then, if that's the case, and said Tom's mind was, I mean, kind of similar, but like the previous events for the first change, it was originally his name was Luca, and he was a kind of like a drug dealer.
So a bad kid.
Yeah, drug dealer, teenage kid. Was doing like a drop off and ended up being ambushed by several gang members, we'll call it.
Okay.
Then the next thing he remembers is all those gang members are just in pieces and there's just blood everywhere. Yeah, so Rowan Blood Tears, who was pretty much watching after me. Kind of, I guess he was...
Well, he came to pick you up when the Kinfetch went off, the same way as the wolf that was chasing after Tom, just...
That's what I was going to ask. Was he picking up from the Kinfetch?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but then at the same time, Rowan was attacked, and all of a sudden a black van picks me up, knocks me out, and that's all I remember.
Well, see, you misunderstood that. They weren't after him, they were after you.
Right. He saw it. What's what I'm saying? He saw it. It was trying to get me to safety. Get the hell out of here.
Okay. All right, yeah.
I'll take care of these guys. You get the hell out of here.
Yeah, they were coming after you. He stepped in the way and said, fucking run. I got this kid.
Yep.
And then you went left instead of right, and they got you anyway.
And Rowan is a badass.
Yeah. So, to me, especially knowing who Rowan is now, imagine how many of those it took for them to get me and not get Rowan. Does that make sense?
No. But that's okay. We can
Not a bit.
Forget it then. Forget that last part.
But that was the quick to get them, everyone together. Jessica got black bagged by a guy asking for directions.
Okay. Yeah. And so then this story opens
Did she have a first change story though? I don't remember hers.
Well, yeah, she was already cognizant that she could change.
Okay.
There was no one to get her. So she was only aware that she could turn into a wolf and knew nothing.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this story picks up when they're in the van.
Right.
Correct.
And they've been black bagged.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how you did it because obviously the, black bagging, throwing in a van is a very...
It's not original.
It really isn't. It's some would say overused trope.
I would be inclined to agree, but in my defense, we didn't know this was going to stick.
Right.
Which is why this chronicle is only a 4-parter, just a little arc, just for everyone to dip their toes in to see if this was something everyone wanted to do before I got invested and started writing.
And Danny, you had never role-played at all before
Not
this.
even a little bit, no.
And Tom, you had only done Dungeons and Dragons where you jumped off a boat.
Yeah, problem player.
Yeah.
So whatever, give him that idea.
Because he was a problem player for the Dungeons and Dragons, but not for us.
Not for us at all.
So, I really like the first 2 paragraphs where you kind of describe the black bagging and what happens with the van, and there's a car accident and all of that. And that's how we introduce the NPCs and the game, and you kind of lift the curtain.
Yeah.
So, do you want to read that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Paint that picture.
Live read, look at this shit.
It's not live, guys.
Yeah, let's hope it is. This should be one and done. Let's hope
One
for it.
and done.
Let's
Go
hope.
for it.
Everything is a haze. Every now and then, you're unsure how often, your eyes flutter awake. Through blurred vision, you could see the IV split lines running to you and other bodies. You could feel them beside you, but can't move. Through these brief moments of coherence, you can tell that you're the back of a van. You can feel the bumps and turns and sudden stops, but each time it's darkness again. Pain. You feel pain. Your bodies are piled together. IV lines pulled from your arms. Your bodies are entwined. The van is upside down. The world slowly returns to you while you could smell blood, urine, and feces. Another young man's body entwined with the 3 of you. His head was severed by a shard of glass. There were horrible sounds coming from outside the van, like wild animals fighting. There's a loud whimper, a scream, and then nothing. There's a bang on the rear doors, and as they open, a figure crouches down, looking at you all. One and done.
One and done.
Jesus, man, just remembering all that is so awesome.
Yeah, and that was the beginning of the first story.
Yeah. So this is what opens the Chronicle.
Yeah.
This is how we roll. It's serious.
Yeah, now you had a reaction there, Danny. Want to talk about that?
Well, it just... I remember it being... Like I said, when I said paint that picture. Because it absolutely paints a picture. Yeah, you can read a book and you can read all these things, but like you're putting the emphasis on the different words and the timing and like on pain. You feel pain. your emphasis on some of that stuff was what helped hook that in and realize how serious this is, and how easy it is to start, to get into.
Yeah, thank you. Tom, you got thoughts?
Just about the same. But it's the way you read off what you write. It's, like I said, you're just a damn good storyteller.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, and I appreciate that you put in another person, another kid in the back of that van.
Yeah, so it wasn't just them. There's a casualty in there.
There's a casualty. You already have life or death.
Yep.
You can already tell how high the stakes are.
No, that's the perfect way to put it, yeah.
And,
the stakes are already high.
There by the grace of Gaia, you're alive.
But barely.
Yeah. The fourth guy wasn't.
Yeah, and that could have been any one of us kind of thing, yeah.
Yep.
And, that's your opening.
Okay, welcome to the world of darkness. You're already fucked.
Covered in blood, urine, and feces, yep.
Yeah.
And I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Well, hopefully the urine and feces will.
Yeah, maybe
take a bath, Jesus.
Welcome to the puppy pit. Oh, wait.
That's later.
They get to bypass that.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Okay.
Due to actions in this chronicle.
Okay. So, as we all check.
Stupid.
It was a noise. Everyone panic.
All right. Carry on.
Okay. So, they're at the forward sept for the whole chronicle.
The whole time.
Okay. And like you said, it was just 4 stories, so it was like a mini...
Yeah, just a little arc.
So do you want to read the spoken words section that follows up when they've had their car accident?
I actually would. Because this here, when we were talking about this, I know you said you wanted those first 2 paragraphs in there. And I felt it was important for the next part. Mm-hmm. And I promise, guys, it isn't going to just be us reading the damn script.
No.
But we will when we think something's worth it.
Yeah.
And this is, the introduction of the first NPCs. And we talked about this before air. Mm-hmm. And it's been decided, this has been a vote that was taken, that I'm going to, instead of giving the parts out to everybody, I'm just going to read it as originally was on the day.
Well, I think the whole point of that is so they can understand what we went through when we started, you showing the different voices and the different mannerisms for the different characters. So each one of those characters has their own personality, and you can bring that out in the voice you make for that specific character.
And I appreciate that. You guys made your argument, and we're going to do it that way. I just thought it'd be neat to give everyone a different part, but
maybe
you have a good point and you won. So congratulations.
Maybe in future stories, maybe in several of the other stories, but maybe just as an introduction.
No, sure. We talked about other stuff. We'll do that for certainly, but
that's the other thing is you have all of these NPCs right here, voices nailed down, as in the way you do them. I would not want to try to copy these.
Well, you wouldn't have to. They wouldn't know any better.
Right, but still, you have these so nailed down. I wouldn't want to try to mimic them or make them different than what I know them as, at least.
Well, we'll hop into it.
Okay.
And just for the recap, there's a banging on the rear doors as they open. A figure crouches down, looking at you all. Guys, Tats, it's Phil Jordan. The man looks to be in his mid to late 20s. His hair is a curly dark red that naturally frizzes out. He's wearing worn black jeans and a black shirt with a shamrock. The text reads, "Suck my Blarney Stones." It sits under a proper bomber jacket. Don't kill them. We'll save them with the therapy bills. Hey, I'm not killing them. Not yet. Hey, Butch, they tainted? No. They're Garu. Cubs. I know what my babysitter is? This is what I can call you for? We'll drop him with the old man. His part in this is mostly done anyway. Whatever we're gonna do. Can we do it in the arches? We get this van off the road before it gets fine, yeah? Fine. Then they're your problem, dead man. We'll clean this up.
The rabies and chains.
Good old rabies and chains. Yeah. And Dead Man is referring to Dead Man Dempsey.
Yep, Dead Man Dempsey, the Ragabash Fiona, who you may or may not have understood.
Probably didn't, Because it's still hard for us to understand.
Speak for yourself. I've been speaking Dempsey for a while.
Dempsey.
It's a learned language. Like,
No.
there's a Rosetta Stone.
It took us a while, but yeah, I think we finally got to understanding Dempsey.
Oh, there's still times I ask, but we're getting there.
So yeah, the Rabies and Chains, and that's your first introduction to them. And I just, there's something about the interaction I liked and I wanted to share.
Yeah.
You know, because it's them in their natural environment.
And they found this wrecked van on the side of the road.
Well, they might have had a hand in that.
I was going to say, to me, it sounded like they wrecked the van.
Yeah.
And at one point, Dempsey says, whatever we're to do, can we do it on the arches? What does that mean?
Well, we're moving.
Oh, okay.
Take the arch of the foot. Take it on the arches. Means fuck off. Do it while you're moving.
Gotcha. Okay.
But seeing it as the Fianna, who you base it off of.
Yeah, Dempsey's voice is based a little bit on Benicio del Toro from Usual Suspects. A little bit of him, little Lucky Charms leprechaun.
Just a little.
A little bit.
And I mean, watching the BBC, watching any of the Guy Ritchie movies, that'll help you, like, with the Dempsey ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he is intentionally hard to understand.
Yeah.
You know, there are times when these guys, even today sometimes, will be like, "What? Say that again?" And what I'll do is I won't take it again. Dempsey will just be irritated you didn't listen to him. Says that guy back on my patrol. What the fuck's wrong with you?
What do you mean you don't know what I mean?
Get your fucking head out of ass and speak it clearly in English. Fucking guy.
You got that, Tom?
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Get your head out of your ass.
We speak Dempsey now.
Yep.
And hopefully after that, everyone will have Patreon speak it too.
Okay. So, you get found by the Rabies and Chains. I mean, good thing? I mean, it's better than, I'm assuming, the Spirals who were in the van.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he ever specified that they were them, but being out long enough, we kind of figured that's what was going to happen. It was probably Spirals pulling Cubs, trying to get him turned.
Thank goodness that didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, because that's not a game we want to run.
No, it's not. And then, from there on, to summarize, I have at this point successfully, with Whiplash's line, they're your problem, we'll clean this mess up. Mm-hmm. We lead to Dempsey walking you guys down this country fucking highway bullshit road, trying to explain things to your, naked, drugged up asses.
Yep. In Dempsey style, of course. Too.
Right.
So we already don't understand him, and then he starts throwing words out like werewolf, and Garu, lupus. We're like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
Well, I'll hand you the script here.
Well, thanks.
So you can, because I don't need to read from it anymore. So, but I believe, Dempsey just gets right into talking to you. Mm-hmm. Like, he doesn't give you much training, much who you are. Like, I know there's like we're in West Virginia. That's not West Virginia. That's west of Virginia.
His exact line, too.
Yeah. Which, in that accent is fun.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are just like, am I dead? Am I high?
Am I having a stroke?
Right?
Yes.
That's West Virginia. That's not West Virginia. It's West Virginia. But that eventually leads you guys to Longburn, Virginia.
Mm-hmm. West of Virginia.
No, wait, Western Virginia, not West
Longburn,
Virginia.
the west side of Virginia. Yeah. God, that was so funny. I remember, like I said, you trying to use words that are just common sense now. Mm-hmm. But as a, teenage kid, sometimes maybe even less than that, trying to grow up, be his normal life, and then get thrown into the mix, and then literally thrown into the mix.
Yeah.
It's probably an instant headache.
And, I mean, I like how in the script you have planned for the fact that, these teenagers are naked
Yes.
and walking down a road. So maybe, that should change. So you have somebody pull up in a car and toss a large paper sack of,
Random clothes.
Yeah, just random shit.
Yeah. Whatever you can fit, take.
And then rather than pick them up and give them a ride, they just take off.
Well, it's the rest of the rabies and chains. They did their job. And while as funny as I think from their perspective, as fun of a story as that would be, the time Dempsey got fucking busted walking down the highway with 3 naked kids. They do have shit to do with their day, so get them some clothes.
And that would be hysterical from the rabies and chains perspective.
Yes.
Not from anyone else's.
I don't think Nate Bangerang was going to let them kids touch the leather. Kids were not getting in that car.
That's kind of what I was thinking. They threw clothes at us, but were they really clean clothes? Who the hell knows?
Who cares?
They were clothing.
Your dick's not hanging out. Be thankful.
Well, no, that's not my point. My point is that, with Nate Bangerang's car, he wasn't going to let us in with clothes or without clothes.
Yeah, no.
No. Mm-mm.
Smelling the feces covered in blood. No. Not messing up his upholstery.
And by the way, even if they were clean clothes, they're not now.
Right?
That's my point.
They're true.
They weren't getting in that car, period.
Because remember, we mentioned the feces thing, like I brought it in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta remember, there was the 4th person
Right.
who died.
Yeah, so he probably should have.
He voided his, that's what happens when you die, and you were all naked.
Yep. So
you were covered in shit.
Yum.
And blood.
I don't think anyone stopped to think about that, but you guys were covered in piss and shit and blood.
But they had a lot going on.
Yes, they did. It was a traumatic day.
Yes, traumatic.
Because, not only did you have your first change, but then you had a quote-unquote car accident.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
And then you had somebody die, basically
Right
on you.
on me, yeah.
And then you're kidnapped again.
And trying to learn everything from someone that we can't understand.
Again, he ain't teaching you much.
No.
No, he's just talking.
He's saving it for the old man. That's the quote old man's job.
Right.
And maybe we should move on to arriving at the forward sept and
Well,
The
sure.
reason-
You got the script. You lead us away. I don't
The
have
reason
copy
we
for
were
me.
picked up by this pack.
well, the reason you were picked up by the pack was because you were on your way to the hive.
Right, because Butchers in the Shadows you sent of the true form before Whiplash had you killed to save him the therapy pills.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you were just human sacrifices to something,
Yeah, they wouldn't give a shit.
no, just kill him. I say again, save him the therapy pills.
Yeah.
The delirium will take care of this, but Jesus, imagine that life. Get rid of him.
Yeah. So once the Butchers in the Shadows realizes, no, they're Garu, Cubs even, we can't get rid of them.
Right, it's a responsibility, even though no one's happy about that.
Right.
But again, that was one of the main themes, is that no one's happy to see you. No one's here to train you. It's not, hooray, we have more troops. It's, fuck, these guys are already dead.
We can't let them die, but we don't have fucking time to save them from dying.
Right. We're
They-
babysitters now.
yeah.
This is what we've been called here for.
So the walk leads them to the Blue Moon Inn.
Right, in the town of Longburn, Virginia.
Yes, so that's a hotel.
Yes.
Well, motel, something. It's obviously not anything permanent, right?
Well, right. I mean, that's the idea there again is it's not friendly.
Okay.
There's not a kinfolk there. But Longburn, it's a small, town. It's in a valley right at the start of the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of hiker traffic. Mm-hmm. So they could get away with renting out rooms in this hotel for the time being and not draw any attention.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's just tourists. It's just this shit happens all the time. It's a little crappy tourist town. And, and I tried to give it's based in a real location.
Yes.
It's based in somewhere I actually used to live for a while. I talk about the Virginia Games. It's the fucking town I lived in. Mm-hmm. Where you had this strip of wanting to be a modern place.
Yes.
But then, like...
Barely.
Right. You know, they've got Kmart, and they've got like 2 grocery stores and an odd number of 7-Elevens.
A bizarre number of 7-Elevens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was it.
I get that Slurpee, man.
You do.
Hey.
The rest of the town closes at 9. You got 4 24-hour, what's happening?
There's more than Slurpees there.
Barely.
With 6 corners, there's 5 7-Elevens.
Basically. Yeah.
And I wanted to paint that picture. I believe I took the kids on the roof.
Yep.
To be introduced to the old man.
Correct.
Yes.
See, they're holding scripts. I'm not.
Yeah, it was...
I didn't want to waste more of Joey's paper.
And ink.
Yes.
I mean, if you need it back.
I don't think so. I think you need it more than me, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, you're the one who wrote it. You should know what's in it.
Exactly. More or less,
It was a long time ago, though.
Still.
They go to room 212 and...
whatever.
Then they go up to the roof hatch. And that's where they meet Waya.
Yep, which is the old man. Y-O-I thrice wizened.
And he becomes the babysitter.
Yeah. The idea there is that he had visions, as he tends to do. He's a powerful thrush. And he had some visions of something bad happening here, so he called in reinforcements, and he got some. Maybe not what he wanted,
Well, does anybody ever get what they want in the world of darkness?
No. In this world, Jesus. But yeah, you had, he called out to the Sept of the Sweet SummerRain, where his 3 mentors were thrice wizened. His 3 mentors were the elders there, so they sent the Rabies and Chains pack, super begrudgingly. It got word to a pack known as the Calm, and so the Calm showed up. And,
Which is, again, the Rabies and Chains and the Calm, one of the reasons since the very beginning why those 2 packs are my favorite, along with the Silent Howl being the third, but because they've been there since the beginning of our story.
Okay.
And then...
Sorry to throw it in there.
And then Ron Day Tripper of the Silent Howl was there, and the Silent Howl, the Y is a mentor to the Howl.
Okay.
So, Ron came running. Under the auspices that Sage and Sekhmet were elsewhere.
Doing something else.
Right.
Okay. And you title it as The Temporary Sept of the Mountain Cry.
Yep.
So it's a temporary sept.
Temporary sept. There's no totem involved. There's no moon bridges. There's no cairn. They don't know where the next closest cairn is. We mentioned driving. You mentioned, Bangerang's car. They drove from New Jersey.
Not that far, But it's a haul.
The point there is, we know that there's a Bonar cairn right there in DC. We know these, but they don't know that.
Right.
So they don't have anywhere to take the kids. If they knew they were an hour away from a cairn,
they would have done it.
They'd have got reinforcements at the cairn. They'd have dropped your asses off at the Bonars, and you guys could have lived on dumpster burgers for the rest of your lives.
Oh, yum.
Everyone loves a good dumpster burger.
But because they didn't know that, they didn't have time to fucking roam the countryside looking for a cairn, and we're certainly not driving you home. to our home.
Right.
Get our asses kicked, showing back up before this job's done.
So then you talk about completing the rite of passage, and there's also...
I think that's where we got questions answered. Because now here's someone we can actually understand, rather than Dempsey, who we can barely make out what the hell he was saying.
Well, and this wasn't like the first real game, so yeah, you didn't speak fluent Dempsey then.
You're right. I think I tried to tone it down a bit for you guys because it was the first story.
Probably.
But I can't prove that.
But at the same time, so Wyatt was offering answers. So anything we had questions about, and yeah, is a proper role-playing experience, something something brand new to you that I'm sure you had questions. So it was like, what the hell are we? What are we doing here? Why are we here? And
yeah.
And as a someone who was trying to explain it and was happy to see us. Kinda.
He was. I don't think he was unhappy.
Right. He wasn't like the Rabies and Chains where they were not happy to see us whatsoever.
Well, certainly, but the Rabies and Chains don't want to be there in the first place.
Right. So yeah, he was there to teach. He'd go, okay, good. Now I have.
Yeah, you had a calm elder there, and Wyatt was an affable guy. He's
right.
Like a fun uncle, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not fun, but
creepy uncle.
A wise.
Was he creepy?
At first.
Okay. Why was he creepy?
He's just creepy. Old people are creepy.
He wasn't that old. I mean, he wasn't like Swimming Bird old.
This is true.
Skeleton with skin hanging off of him.
Well, he was dressed like
I think it was more
Fester
chapters in when it started getting creepy.
Well, that's actually something to bring up in the future chapters, because as we start to mix those Garu together, the interactions,
Mm-hmm.
But in the beginning, he was going to handle that exposition, and I wanted to set on that rooftop so I could describe, how the town looked, and you could use that setting to your advantage. You find your lupus form and listen. You can hear the chatter at the bar 4 blocks away. You could hear it.
Well,
I really remember that, because I remember I sat there, changed lupus, and I felt euphoric about it.
Yes, and how the wind would hit your fur, and describing how just your body feels different, and you could feel the individual. Yeah.
Well, and Ghost can, in lupus, he can hear stuff 4 states away.
Yeah, some of the merits and stuff Tom took were just make his perspective rolls ridiculous.
That's true.
Yeah. Perception.
What's the
not perspective?
The difficulty is 6. Okay, well I got all of them.
And it's a difficulty 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's difficulty, and then there's Tom difficulty.
Right. There's difficulty for the
It's a
rest
separate
of
category. I will cop that on occasion. I will fucking buff up that difficulty just to make it a decent one.
I specifically asked you.
Just because it's
Yep. Well, the group's here. It's going to be a diff 10 because Tom's here, so it's going to be a diff 4. So they went. They're blind and deaf, but Tom's got it.
Hey, man, I'm playing the scout.
You're doing. You do know.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
I'm doing my job.
But I mean, that's why we set that on the roof. Is to help give that different perspective and with the location, and I hope to paint a picture.
Oh yeah.
To help. I mean, you could be sitting in a hotel room. How boring is that as a setting?
Especially as a young kid.
Yeah. No, that's really boring.
So put them on the roof of the hotel. Fuck it.
Yeah, that worked.
It'd be like, what? Was the staff going to tell them no?
Great.
And that was when Whiplash had his necklace of ears, so...
Yes.
Just saying. Just throwing that out there.
Wears a necklace of ears.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in public.
Right.
And you think why is creepy.
But I mean, through those discussions with Wyatt, that led you to introductions with
Jude.
Jude, and also Ron.
Yes. Ron Day Tripper.
Jude Thunder Fury and Ron Day Tripper.
I just giggle every time you say Day Tripper.
Well, yeah.
There's a backstory, guys.
There absolutely is. But
one day you'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it was, the introduction was when Wyatt's teaching us things. Like, okay, yeah, you're going to do this. And then you'll get your rite of passage. And then you'll be accepted by your tribe, your tribal totem. And Jude's like, yeah, don't worry about that. It's covered.
Yeah, that's where I cheated a bit.
Yeah.
And I think I've talked about this. I don't know if it was in the forums. I don't know if it was in Discord. I don't know if I can remember.
Probably Discord.
Yeah, probably. But sometimes, I mean, it's the 3 of you, and it just so happened that in the original version you were all Fianna,
Right.
and that didn't stick very long. But I have a policy, especially with new players, that there's like it's kind of an unspoken because I don't want them to know, but like a kind of a statute of limitations to where if you want to make a change to your character, I'll allow it.
Ooh, can I make a change to my character?
No.
No.
We'll make a retcon.
Within a certain amount of time.
Yes. there'll be a retcon as opposed to making you make a brand new character. And so, while Danny started as a Fianna, he, under the statute of limitations there, became was retconned into being a Geta Fenris. But in the beginning, in the very first, in the beginning, he was a Fianna.
So I can't retcon my character?
No.
You no longer want to be a child of Gaia? I allow it.
It's not up to you.
No, damn. She doesn't want to be child of Gaia anymore.
The statute of limitations on Joey's characters expired like 15 years ago.
That's fair.
She knows what she's doing.
You,
however, didn't.
Right.
So.
And I wasn't saying I wanted to change tribes. I just wanted to monkey with my character.
Yeah, I don't think you need to. I think you're good.
Anyway, so they meet Jude. Somehow they skate out of a rite of passage. Is that what it is?
No, it just came
exactly.
later.
Yeah, it happened later.
Okay.
It was a part of the problem with what are we going to do with you? Is we'll figure something out to do for your rite of passage
later.
Yeah, that can be tomorrow's problem. And then I was talking like we could probably try to find out what kind of tribes you were, and this is where I cheated it. And I had a Stormcrow told Jude what truly. Oh no, Stag claimed them. They're Fianna.
Oh,
How this fucking Stormcrow fight out? Don't ask that question. It's just not important because, I don't encourage that kind of thing normally because I just totally cheated it.
Yeah.
But again, it was quick stuff, like just quick thinking stuff that, like, is it really necessary to go into right now when this could possibly not continue to stay in the story?
Right.
It's just a quick story. Is it necessary to go into that much detail?
I just felt we'll do it this way, and moreover, this establishes this does some things for establishing characters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It establishes character for Jude.
Yeah, we established that Jude is someone
who has eyes and ears everywhere.
Yeah, who has information and who gets it quickly. I mean, they were there 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, forget the walk. So there was, but.
No,
they were there 20 minutes, and
they were at the hotel for 20 minutes, and
right.
Jude knew this.
Yeah,
and that's the instantaneously say I got that idea out of Jude. That is someone who
and yet
has
you
eyes
still owe him favors,
like a lot. But what it also did is if you look at the dialogue there, and we don't need to read it out.
No.
Or I mean, Danny, if you want to read it, just read it. It establishes why his feelings for Jude. In that dialogue.
Not only Wyatt's, but Ron's too.
Well, Ron hasn't shown up yet.
No, he is.
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, he shows up in a second.
Yeah, because he's...
He shows up immediately after.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll cut that. It'll all make sense, I promise.
We probably won't.
Yeah, because once...
once he next week.
Once that crow tells Jude... yes, they've been claimed. Then Wyatt frowns, and this young Garu is Jude Thunderfury, and I remember the way you saying it was just so not subtle whatsoever.
Yeah, I wanted, and again, that was part of that too. Is I wanted to establish that Jude is someone who's going to have the answers that maybe he shouldn't even fucking have, and Wyatt doesn't approve of this.
Right.
He's not happy this guy's here.
So then...
He's just a damn good Shadow Lord, that's all.
Oh, he's a superb Shadow Lord.
Tribist.
That's why I do not trust him at all.
Tribist.
Yeah. About Jude, yeah. So on the second day, they get introduced to the Umbra.
Oh, just jump in there?
Yeah, why not?
Skip Ron.
Okay.
Oh.
I would like to mention that too, because immediately there after Ron appears, and I'm just introducing members of the cast,
right?
But while trying to keep the world going around you guys.
Yes, and at the same time establishing each of the characters.
Right. I mean, there's a way to do that where it's like, oh, this is this person, this is this person, this is this person, and that's boring, and you stopped paying attention 5 minutes ago. But to have the voice come out of the shadows going, oh, they're stags, and then the Stormcrow fucking do a flyby through the three of you. And then you have this guy who claps onto the ground, into the roof of this fucking out of nowhere, just popped in from the Umbra, and goes, oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, and then right there, too, it shows that we'll use air quotes, the relationship between Ron and Jude.
Yes.
So, because Ron...
That one's a little different, but I like this one, yeah.
Yeah. Ron introduces himself, and...
Rolling day tripper.
Yeah. And then Jude calls him legless.
Well, it's... Yeah.
Yeah. Ron does have a problem. But I like when he says, "What's up, Thunder Chunky?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what...
What's up, that Thunder Chunky?
That's what I was hoping
Legless.
someone was going to answer to. I was like, yeah, he calls him legless. Thunder Junkie.
And so they got a little...
And that's the exchange.
yeah.
They're acquaintances. They're not friends. But they each know what the other one's capable of. So there's still a mutual respect.
Yeah. Well, it hints at a history, but not necessarily a
Yes.
hostile one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I was poking at.
And again, it's the introducing you to the world and to the characters without doing that. This is this person. This is this person.
Right.
You know, Ron was doing recon. He just got back. Well, you acknowledge the person in the room. That was the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just, fine. Mm-hmm. But
Okay.
So day 2, they go to the Umbra.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously they're gonna have some thoughts and feelings on going to the Umbra.
And again, what?
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about? Umbra? What do you mean you can go away and disappear for a minute? Or any length of time?
Is that what you took out of the Umbra?
No, but from what I'm remembering though, it was, yeah, this is what you can do. You can go into what we call the spirit realm, and then it disappears. What the fuck are you talking about, disappear?
And if I recall, that was Ron took you guys out because he drew the short straw.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Butcher's in the Shadows and Whiplash, and I believe it's not mentioned Whiplash on there, but we know he was there.
Whiplash
As far
and
as-
Butcher are watching.
Yeah, they come, and that was why, because Whiplash didn't trust Ron to be able to do it right.
Yeah, not right.
Ron's inability to properly train cubs.
Is that in there?
Yeah.
Yes. Look, I remember specifically. I want to see if Tom remembers.
Oh, I remember it. He was trying to advance techniques on us.
Yeah. He'd be like, you're going to be in your wolf form. You're going to run up here, and then you're going to flip, and you're going to go into the bigger wolf form. And then you're going to jump down here. And when you jump down there, you're going to switch over to the werewolf form. Am I making this clear enough for you? And he said
Nope.
it way faster than that.
No, it's just there. Just like this.
Yeah.
And then he'd, demonstrate the fucking rank 3, I've been doing this for 20 years maneuver.
Right.
He goes, just like that, mate.
What do you mean you don't know how to do that? And Whiplash would get mad.
They don't know how to walk in lupus yet, you asshole.
Do you remember that, Tom? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember it.
Okay, so Tom, what were your thoughts about going into the Umbra for the first time?
I remember it being very, I don't know if I should say it's sticky, the way because it took a second for us to get through the gauntlet. And I remember that stuck out the most to me, was trying to get through the gauntlet.
Yeah, I made a big deal about that the first time, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did. That's what sticks out the most.
That and
I think it took 2 rolls or 3 rolls to even get through.
that makes sense. Yeah. I remember that one specifically, trying to get through the gauntlet, and then shifting forms specifically you made those difficult for us to do.
Well, you want the first times to, it'd be nice if they're memorable, but I mean, at least the moment or for the time being, because, it's like the first time you ride a bike or something, It's a big deal now. It's not going to be a big deal a year from now.
Right.
But today, it's like, oh my God, look at this. It's the first time this is happening. There's just hair growing. There's just hair growing on my body.
Just like that, huh?
Oh, it's not. I'm a werewolf. I'm sorry. I thought it was just, it's like that.
Okay, so I did see something in the script, and I thought it was really neat. You talk about getting them dedicated clothes.
Yes.
So,
Why I took him to the Salvation Army.
and got dedicated clothes.
Yep.
Nope.
Because that's a special rack there.
Yeah, well. Hey, he's right at Talisman dedication. Who doesn't know that?
Uh,
If your characters don't know that, you need to fucking learn it. That's
It's one of the very first ones. Yeah, you made that specific. Look, this is one of the very first ones, and he said it right to the Thurge. This is absolutely necessary.
You're gonna need this.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're walking naked all the time, and you don't want that.
No,
Draws too much attention.
It's bad news bears. And, I mean, the rite of talisman dedication is extremely important, but some storytellers don't emphasize it as much as you do.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a, I guess an at your own risk thing, where if you don't remember it, too bad, now you're naked.
Yeah, it's...
Or they make you learn it in game, and so you're naked until you're not.
Well, again, for the, these are cubs, it's their first time, we'll hook you up. Mm-hmm. But, I believe it was learned in the pack. And
yes.
It's like, well, you get new shit, you're going to have to take care of it.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I remember. And that's kind of why I never wanted to change, because I picked clothes that I figured that character would wear. And that's what he would normally wear as his teenage self. And he stuck with that. It was like jeans, a t-shirt, a zip-up hoodie, and it would just stay unzipped.
That's what you're wearing now.
Because that's where I wear all the time.
That's what you are wearing.
But remember, I was trying. But
No.
and that character was, half based on me. So yes, that's what I'm wearing right now. T-shirt and zipped-up hoodie.
Well, we're all wearing t-shirts and jeans.
Yeah, but
I mean, except for Tom, he's stark raving naked. Ladies.
Don't tell everybody.
Just tell them the ladies.
Oh, okay.
just stop jumping in front of the camera so often.
Stop looking at the camera, you creep. It's behind you.
No, that's why I got this. That's why I got the script up in my face, so I can't
Because
see the
he's hiding
screen.
the mirror.
Oh. All right, we went.
Wow.
Anyway, talisman dedication.
Back on topic.
We're going to get more coherent with these as we go.
We promise.
Doubtful.
This is the first run.
All right. But I think that's when we, started getting it. If we had no more questions, kind of thing. That was probably the next part was when we got thrown into our rite of passage. That's what I was looking for.
Well, you guys got your training that day.
Yeah.
Remedial training as it was, but enough for you to either get killed or not. Mm-hmm. And then I believe at that point, Dooley and Ron maybe? Who Dooley had not been at this point introduced. He might not have appeared at all.
No, it was Butchers in the Shadows.
Okay.
Butcher stands before you. We have a look at potential targets, blah, 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 blah. And then he says, he explains the area. You're going to go here. You defeat any minions, any bad guys you see. They're probably going to be really bad and disgusting looking. And then you're going to go into the Umbra and flush out any of the Banes.
Yeah, it was a junkyard that was turning into a blight.
Yeah.
Hellhole, you called it.
And
If left unchecked, it could become a hellhole. Actually, it was a quote.
Yeah. So, wasn't a hellhole, but good, yeah.
And you do reference Dooley.
Do I?
Yep. And I think Dooley is the ride.
I know I don't believe I made a big deal of him, though, because I felt you guys had enough on your plate. I don't need to throw... I mean, there's more characters. There's not many more, but you have enough you've met.
At that time,
right.
yeah.
And remembering them, it's hard. It's hard when you're first being introduced and, you're trying to take in all of the NPCs and, think about being at a party where you don't know people and you're trying to remember names.
Exactly. Maybe you gravitate toward 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And first story, there's a lot to unpack.
Right.
So, we'll leave Dooley and Docs in the fucking sidelines for now. That's why I didn't include all of the Silent Howl. It was just Ron.
Right.
So it's like, okay, the Rabies in Chains, Jude, Ron, Waya.
Little bit of everything other than just, the Rabies and Chains plus a little bit of everything else.
Yeah.
Okay, so they go to the salvage yard for their rite of passage, where if they win, yay, they're Guru. If they lose, well, they're dead anyway.
Right.
So.
And again, it just like the theme, it was very ad hoc.
Yeah.
This is not a normal rite of passage. This is not normally how this shit's done. But look.
Yeah. We're in the middle of a war.
There's an action going on here. We have shit to do.
This is small enough where if they can handle it, great. If they can't, we'll take care of it when they're done, and we no longer have to worry about them.
Right. I mean, there it is.
Yeah. And so it was 10 beans in total.
Well, the beans were all in the Umbro.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so
But I think the
They
first
started in the realm, I believe, with the
yeah,
Famor.
a bunch of Femora and Famor.
Okay, so
Maybe not a
it's-
bunch, but like
I think it would be the next page.
There was like 4 people.
Yeah, there's four people, one of which is very small.
And then, on the back page, I've got the listing for them.
Yeah,
For their stats
yeah.
and all that. I try to keep the enemies and, the statted stuff on a separate page at the ass end. Just so I can find it
Quickly.
real quick, yeah.
right. So obviously we got lucky and we completed our mission in the realm, and then went to the Umbra because that's what our instructions were. Once that's done, go to the Umbra, flush out any beans before it becomes the hellhole.
Gotcha. Okay.
And here, we lead into 2 important things I think happen there.
Mm-hmm.
First of all would be that Danny's character gets a deed name. And you guys get your totem out of that too.
Yes.
Which again was an example of something that this is not how
This
goes.
is not how this works.
Right. But I'm looking at this going, I have 4 stories to see if this is going to happen.
Gotcha.
So I made the acquiring of that first totem happenstance, and I chose the fucking totem.
Okay.
And that's not normally how I play that.
No, it's not.
Normally everyone makes a list, they keep their list secret, I take the list, there's a little point system, it's fine, and there's always overlap, and it always works out. But this time it was, you're not keeping this totem anyway, no matter what happens. You continue to play, you don't continue to play. But
we'll go back to the deed name real fast.
yes.
Because for the patrons who are in Discord, you probably missed it because I did get a chance to talk about it for a very short period of time. But
yeah, you brought it up last week.
yeah. So the long story short was the last of the Banes was a Scrag, and the 3 of us trying to banish the Scrag had ripped and latched onto my face, and being stupid and I'm strong now, I'll just rip him right off. While doing that, ripped several chunks of my flesh off my face.
Yeah, just tore lines where all the teeth were going straight up.
Yep. So anywhere, what did we say? We said the sides of the mouth,
The
nose,
nose,
and the
eyes, ears.
was just scars going straight up.
Just rip.
Oh.
Anywhere a tooth could hook into, now had a scarred line going straight up.
Which, cool, because then, as we're learning, battle scars are cool. Battle scars are what gets you glory. But also came that deed name. They called me Scrag Ripper.
Yes, because that's exactly what you did. You ripped a scrag off of your head. And,
At the time, though, that was awesome.
battle scars are cool, but maybe not on the face. Don't...
Was something...
None of that.
Gotta save the moneymaker.
Exactly.
There were a few things I loved about that. Is I think number one, it was the idea that it sounded good on paper,
Right.
but any Garu with any level of experience could look at those scars and find out exactly what the fuck happened to him.
Yeah.
And now it's not so much complimentary.
Right.
It's like, oh no, I see what you did.
But at first, and being Cub...
Sure, you didn't know any better.
Yeah, didn't know any better. Being brand new, I got a cool D name. These guys don't have a D name yet. Fuck yeah.
And then the second thing is, if you think about it, if you can visualize how those scar patterns look, right? Mm-hmm. I'm suddenly reminded of the joke, Jack Nicholson's Joker. When he got the water sprayed in his face, and he had you look like the Joker.
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That helped with that character, though. Because now...
Because your charisma was too high?
Nice. No, but from there
Sorry.
from then on, I always wore my hood up. The character always had his hood off of his hoodie up. And that helped me get into character, too, because I would come in the game and I'd wear my hoodie. Mm-hmm. I always, even on a hot day, I put a hoodie on, I put that hood up. Because that's my character.
It's true.
It is.
Because his face is hideous. And other people look at him and go, what the fuck? And then, yeah, Scrag Ripper. Oh, okay, now I know why.
Well, I was kind enough to make those scars fade over time. So you no longer look like a fucking zebra.
No, but he's got other problems.
Yes.
Besides the point.
And honestly, I think that it might have helped. I mean,
Oh, man.
with the other stuff now.
Yeah.
I mean, which one's first?
Yeah, well.
Could have been Lucas Zebrahead. Damn, I missed the boat there.
You did.
Oh, that would have
You
been
did.
good.
That would have been good. Hindsight.
So they take care of the beans. They take care of the scrag because I'm assuming eventually.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're here now, right?
Yeah. I'm assuming eventually you said nah and took care of the scrag.
Yes.
You
the
didn't
date was eventually won.
You didn't just pat it on the head and go, there you go, run along now.
No, I don't think it was a frenzy, but I think once he ripped that thing off my face, like, I can no longer see, so I just started clawing at whatever's in front of me until he died.
If it was a frenzy, I would have, like, I gotta get one of those little clicker counters for you in the frenzy, because this is getting ridiculous.
But the day was won,
Yeah.
and Raccoon came from the garbage.
That's what I was gonna ask, and it came from the garbage.
The forest.
The garbage
No,
forest?
no, because we're in a
Salvage yard.
Salvage yard, there we go.
Okay.
Garbage.
Yeah. He came from from
Salvage
the
garbage.
salvage.
What's the difference?
I was picturing like an automotive boneyard.
Oh, mostly, yeah. But
You know.
it's still trash to me.
It's not trash though.
Trash Panda?
Anyway,
Trash Panda.
Dude, trash pandas.
You go
are
say
awesome.
that to Raccoon's face and see what happens.
Absolutely not.
and Raccoon decided that use guys was going to work for him, and
Yeah.
that's how that came around. Is that about right, Tom?
That's about right. I enjoyed your Raccoon.
Raccoons are awesome.
So, yeah, you're going to do me some favors. It's going to work out.
And then, yeah, that's where he told us the ban. That's where he told us, like, look, you get this and this and this. I'll give you a little bit of stealth. I'll give you a little bit of strength. And you throw some coins in the Umbra forest every once in a while.
And the miscellaneous thing I might need, then maybe you can help me out with.
Yeah.
A shiny.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Shiny object.
Throw me some shiny. That's what it was. Throw me some shiny.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that's Raccoon's ban. You gotta leave shiny for him.
Yeah.
I remember.
And that was the beginning. You know, I mean, it was kind of cheaty.
But that's okay.
Yeah, it was an introduction for 3 brand new players to the game, to the characters, and you know,
To themselves.
yeah, you know, and did I need to include all those NPCs? No, and maybe it was a little masturbatory because hey, maybe this was going to be the only 4 stories of werewolf I get to run here. Maybe you guys hate it, so I took NPCs I wanted to play, you know,
Okay.
so I could have fun too. But also, now you see how I'm handling these characters, that there's going to be other characters, that you're
Right.
not the center of the universe, while keeping the story about you.
No, I mean, that was kind of it, wasn't it? That was pretty much the end of that story
Yeah.
one.
Pretty much, you know, you did what you were told and went to a payphone, called in the cavalry, who took care of a rite of cleansing.
And
Because you
then-
guys sure as hell weren't going to do it.
No.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't have trusted us. I still don't trust us now.
Well, that's your fault then.
For rite of cleansing, I don't trust you to do that.
Oh, no, rite of cleansing, sure.
That's
So
what I'm
fucking
saying.
simple. Yeah. But that is that's our first story, the wrong side of normal. Danny, Tom, final thoughts.
Remembering the script helped me, and like, it brought me joy, and remembering why I like doing this every month. And not even that, but like, not only that, but why I like doing this podcast every week. So, yes, bringing this back is awesome. I'm glad we get to bring you these postmortems to you guys, the Patreons. Hopefully you like them, because now that we're having that much fun, we're going to keep doing them.
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's not get fucking revolts. You watch.
Don't revolt.
You watch next week. We lose 5 patrons. Like, this sucks. What are you doing?
No, don't
no.
say that. Don't say
No.
that.
No, give us your feedback because we'd like to keep doing these.
Yeah.
And we're gonna obviously it'll be tweaked and maybe we'll be a little more
A little more
focused.
meat.
A little more
Yeah,
meat
yeah.
too. You know, I mean, we're just getting started, and We're going to see what these look like, but
And-
I'm into it.
And we'll get to the really juicy stories soon enough.
Yeah. Tom, final thoughts?
I really like, I know, piggybacking off of Danny here, but I do like going back and listening and reading and obviously going over this again. It definitely makes me realize how much we've evolved as players. That original story, though, that's what got me hooked. I mean, you guys went through it with us right now. You heard it. This is what got me hooked into Werewolf, and I love looking back at it. This was fun to review.
Awesome, man. And, for you guys, thanks so much again for supporting us. It means the world, and we love being able to give this kind of stuff back. And we'll see you next month with the second chapter of Into the Breach, which for us will be in about 10 minutes. So, happy Thanksgiving, you guys. Thanks again. And we'll see you for your Christmas dose. Take care.